Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse and video number 1000. Yeah, people have been bugging me for at least a month counting down to this video, expecting me to do something big. And yeah, I did feel the pressure, and then I get stubborn, and then I don't want to do something big. So today we're gonna do something small for video number 1000. First we're gonna start by celebrating small. So I have a usual glass, that's a regular size, but I have a small bottle of Asti champagne that I'm gonna be enjoying. And I didn't bring you a glass because you spill all over. So 1000, it's just a number. It's really, if you're a patron of mine, you will know that we are closer to 1200 videos, because on Patreon it's 193 something videos that are up there. Celebrate these 1000 on YouTube by opening the tiny bottle of champagne. I really don't remember where I scored this one, but it's approved somewhere. I think this is Italian. It's not champagne, it's Asti, product of Italy, and that was with my best Russian accent. So, and does it have a screw bottle? It does. So no popping here. So we are celebrating without any champagne cork popping pop up. But I hope it looks as good in the glass. I have protected my keyboard ever so slightly. 20 centiliters, 7.5%. Yeah, it's not even 9 o'clock in the morning yet, so enjoy, Morten. Yeah, 7.5%. You have to start early if you want to get drunk on that, so cheers. Okay, I will drink it. So what are we gonna be doing today? Well, we're gonna celebrate small, so we're gonna make a very small server. And I have already, I've cheated. I made sure that this works. I tested it out yesterday, and I did actually tell my Twitter followers about it. So if you aren't following me on Twitter, well, you're getting behind. Yeah, so until now I plugged my Patreon and my Twitter. And do you know that I'm on Facebook as well? Well, I am. Links are usually in the description of the video. So that was those three, right? Out of the way. So we are building a tiny server. Here we are. We had the awesome Lenovo M93 now server. Used to be a desktop, but from today it's gonna be the new tiny server from Lenovo. And to make that full, we need a tiny monitor for it. So tiny server with monitor, and we need a tiny keyboard for it. So server complete. We have built that. We are of course going to be installing something on it. This looks really cool, doesn't it? I like it. Okay, we have moved out of the data center. It's a bit more quiet in here, so it's more comfortable working here. It's the second living room. The server to be is sitting here. I want to upgrade it a little bit because this computer, it only has a 128 gigabyte hard drive in there, and for what we're going to be putting on it, it's a bit small. I am going to be installing VMware ESXi 7.0 on that. So yeah, we're going to be making a VMware server on our tiny Lenovo M93. Naturally. I did also cheat yesterday, and I upgraded the RAM. There was a 4 gigabyte RAM block in here. I stole the RAM block from the server that we saw just before. I have two of these small computers, and I put another 4 gigabytes in here. So this VMware server has 8 gigabytes of memory. It's not a lot, but it's what I have available right now. So we're going to be upgrading the storage a little bit, and then we're going to be installing ESXi 7 on it. It has already become dusty. That's not a good thing. Screwdriver, tiny little screwdriver that I've been using for those NVMe slots. You know, the ones that you can put in a regular server in the PCI Express ports, so that you can install an NVMe there. There's a little screwdriver with each of those sets, and yeah, that becomes a lot of screwdrivers. So here is the tiny PC. There's a nice little Samsung drive in here. We're gonna take that out. It has two screws, one over here and one there. And they're tiny, and this screwdriver isn't magnetic, so it's a big problem. We will manage. There. There. And on the bottom of it, and it's in the motherboard. Where did it go? There. 2 blocks of memory, each 4 gigabytes. Each of them are original Lenovo RAM. There are 2 screws. There. Sorry. What? This does not want to come out. Oh, there it was. So there are 4 screws here for hard drive. There. Drive is out. We're gonna be putting in this. I already forgot how. We're gonna be putting in this Intel drive. It's a 2 terabyte SSD. The one that has been a lot of trouble with. This was made for regular spinning drives, so there is all kind of vibration absorption methods here, like this rubber thing. I don't think it's really necessary for SSD. So we should get a 2 terabyte-ish, it's not all the way 2 terabyte, internal storage in our little server. So this Now server has a USB 3 port on the front. It has a microphone port and a headphone, and then it has a USB 3 with power output, which means that as long as there is power on the server here, to Now server, there is also power coming out of this USB port. So this is an always on USB port. Power on, power off. On the back we have power in, and it has its own tiny little Lenovo power supply. It has a digital display port. It has 2 more USB 3 ports. It has a secondary display port. It has a VGA connection. I actually didn't see that. I've been messing around with getting connections for this. I could just have used the VGA connection. How stupid of me. But I actually also do not have a VGA to HDMI connection at the moment, so it would have given me the same amount of problems. Then it has a 1 gigabit LAN Ethernet card, and it has a last USB 3 port, so a total of 5 USB 3 ports on here, one of them being the power thing. So let's connect this. We are gonna be installing ESXi 7.0 on this USB stick. It's an 8 gigabyte USB stick. I really wanted to install it on a tiny one that could just sit in the back and not stick out too much, but well, negotiations on installing on this one failed. It was better with this one. I have no idea why, but it didn't like these. And my ESXi 7.0 installation disk, and power on. It's very quick. I had to stop it. It gave me like 7 seconds before it would start the installation, and I had to show it to you. So we are just gonna start the installation. Go gadget. And it starts. I'm just gonna fast forward this. Here we have the processor of this unit. It's 4130T. It's a rather slow CPU. It's a 2.9, and there is the 8 gigs of memory that we have in here. I could upgrade this processor for sure. If you saw my previous videos where I put in a Xeon processor in this little unit, that is working great and you get like a lot more power out of it. I do also have a 41 something, let's check that. I have a 4170, which is a lot faster than that one, and I could put that in, but it draws more power and it makes the server more noisy. So continuing installation here. Approve F11, and we're gonna be installing on the first one is the hard drive, the second one is the USB stick, so we're gonna installing on that one. I tested this yesterday, so it found that there is something already there, so we're gonna install and not upgrade. I'm gonna select the Danish keyboard just because that's keyboard I'm sitting with. I'm gonna give it a password. Now it warns us that this CPU does not have virtualization turned on, so kind of okay, and it actually works. It will continue, so we can install. This is where it became really dangerous, because with the tiny USB stick here, it died on 5% and told me that there was some kind of an error. Yeah, with the other USB stick it continues. It just takes a bloody while, and enough for you to get nervous here. Okay, it completed. It's now ready to reboot, so when I do that it's gonna reboot, and I need to take out the USB stick when it shuts down. There, it's shut down. I'm gonna take out the boot media here. Awesome, I've been writing on tape here because I keep forgetting what's on these sticks, and I have not been taking people's suggestions and making a multiple boot one yet, so I have a whole bunch of them. So when there's nothing labeled on them, well, I have to go through 10 sticks. So now I'm starting to label them. Cool, it's done. Took an IP number. It will automatically connect to your DHCP server. If you don't have a DHCP server, you have to press F2 here and go in and configure the network. I did that yesterday. I forgot to put in a network connection and it messed up. And it was actually pretty smart. I just put in the network connection and went into the network configuration, and then it figured out, oh, we have a connection now, and it took a DHCP address, and I didn't have to do anything more than that. So awesome. So I now have a VMware server running on a 1133 square centimeter VMware host. We have moved into the other computer. I have punched in the IP number of the new host, so we're gonna log into that. It's not happy about the certificate. We are root and password. There, we're on. It's even very quick. We're not gonna join the consumer thing. I'm probably gonna uninstall this very shortly. Certificate for this host is not valid yet. Okay, it's very new, so that's probably why. Let's check the storage. We do have some storage. We have our 1.75 terabyte storage here. Can we use that? It doesn't say that we have any storage, so let's just call it that. Select devices, and there's none. I don't get it. Why does it not see that? I had to clear the partition on there and then it popped up. That was nice. Cool. Continue. We can use full disk. Yes. VMF6. That's the newest. There's also a 5. We're just gonna go with the newest. Next. And finish. The entire disk is going to be deleted. Yeah, that was the general idea. So now we have a storage disk and we have our bootable USB. I don't know why that pops up in here, but yeah, that's our boot media. So out here we now have storage available, and 1.43 gigabytes is used out of our 1.75 terabytes. That's okay. I think we should try and make a server here. We need to upload an ISO file for us to boot our server on. When we go down here under storage, we have our 2 storage devices, and then there is our data storage there, and we can mark that and we can browse data store. So let's go in there, browse data store, and it should be pretty empty, which it is. Create subfolder, and I always call them instaproc. I don't know why, I've just always done that, so I'm keeping up with that. And we're gonna go in there and we're gonna upload our ISO file. Where could I have something interesting? Okay, I think I found a server 2019 ISO file, so I'm uploading that. It's taking a little bit, it's a rather big file, it's 5 gigabytes. So while it's copying that, I just thought that we could have a look at the processors in here. Tiny little server has the socket called LGA1150 that limits the processors that you can put in there. So right now we are using this. It has 2 cores, 4 threads. That's a little bit weird why it doesn't see that. Maybe that is actually turned off in the BIOS. The one that I have in this machine that we are running on right now is the Intel Xeon E3 1275 version 3, which is a lot better processor. It's over twice as fast. Oh, it's actually not that one. There we are, slight mistake. It's the L processor. I just noticed that the one that we had picked used up to 95 watts, and that would never go in there. So this one is a maximum of 45 watts TDP-ish, so it shouldn't use more than that. And it has a bit lower frequencies. It has the same amount of cores and threads, but that's about the maximum processor that I know of that you can put in this machine. And yeah, it does actually do a good job. Okay, file transfer is complete, so let's go to the host and virtual machine. Let's create a new virtual machine. Create new virtual machine. We are just gonna do this very quickly. Server 2019 did not want to start because of Intel virtualization technology is disabled. So I went into the BIOS of the tiny server, and we're gonna try and enable that. Let's try that. Gave the last little bit. Server 2019 installed without further problems, and is now running on this tiny Lenovo M93 server-ish. Yeah, we are kind of using a good portion of the CPU. It should probably quiet down in just a little bit when it realizes that it doesn't have to do anything. And the memory is also up there. Storage is good, storage is great, no trouble whatsoever. You might have seen that I selected thin provisioning, so even though we gave the server a 90 gigabyte drive, it has only reserved about 7.54 gigabytes. Awesome. In the not very big news of today's video, the Lenovo M93 tiny server is born. I have cheated a little bit. I couldn't get this crappy keyboard to work, so it's just there to look nice. And I was too lazy to actually find a network connection for it out here. So it is running, but it's not connected to the network. I didn't bother. Sorry. This was a funny little project for my 1000 video, and should you want to go check out some new hardware and maybe get yourself a tiny server, well, I really recommend Bargain Hardware. That is bargainhardware.co.uk in the UK. And if you use the checkout code MyPlayHouse, you get 5% off your purchase on your way out. And I am of course affiliated with them. 1,000 videos, that is of course a lot of videos, and I still reply on the comments of all my videos. And it's a really big problem if you ask for something specific in an old video, because I can't remember anymore what I did in that video. How did I memory balance the RAM in video number XXX? I don't know. And as I still want to reply to everybody, I don't really have time to watch my own videos. I don't actually watch many of my own videos. After doing 4 hours of video editing on the videos, oh, you kind of don't want to see it anymore. I hope you found this video interesting, somewhat entertaining. I didn't do much fun actually. I should have come up with some more good jokes. Yeah, tiny. We could have done something with tiny, but too late now. So thank you very much for watching my 1,000 videos. If you are one of the very few people that has watched all my 1,000 videos, do leave a comment below telling me that you did watch all 1,000 videos. That's quite an achievement. That's multiple weeks of watching my stupid face. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.